All right, good morning. Welcome to a regular meeting of a panel of utility commissioners and staff of the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority held today, Wednesday, March 22nd at 10 a.m. by remote teleconference. My name is Chairman Marissa Gillette, and I'm joined virtually today by my colleagues, the Vice Chairman Jack Bukowski and Commissioner Michael Karen. We have a regular calendar and a consent calendar in front of us today. We will start with the regular calendar. The first item on today's agenda is docket number 20-12-30 WI05, the application of the Connecticut Water Company for a water infrastructure conservation adjustment semi-annual filing. We'll turn to Authority Staff Maria Schul for a presentation of the decision for the panel's consideration, please.
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman Gillette, and good morning, Vice Chairman Bukowski, Commissioner Karen, and everybody. The Connecticut Water Company submitted a semi-annual filing report on January 26, 2023. The authority issued interrogatories and the company responded to them. The Public Utilities Regulatory Authority also conducted inspection of the replaced in-service plant and facilities. The company requests that the authority designate 21 new projects, project numbers 487 through 507, as WIC eligible projects. Proposed new projects consist of main replacement, main relocations, fire hydrants replacement, service line replacement, pressure reduction, and pumps replacement. The estimated cost for these projects is $21,125,000. The authority reviews the projects and approves them as WICA eligible. Connecticut Water also seeks recovery of $27,775,287 for 20 completed projects. The projects represent the replacement of 68,410 feet of pipe, clearing of 10,000 feet of pipe, river crossing, railroad crossing, various locations crossing improvements, and bypass of booster station for future abandonment. The authority reviewed the 20 completed projects and find them used and useful for benefits of the customers. Consequently, the cost of $27,775,287 may be used to calculate the WICA adjustment. The WICA adjustment is subject to limitations. Specifically, according to Connecticut General Statutes, paragraph 16-262 WI, the amount of the WICA charged between general rate case filing shall not exceed 10% of the water company's annual retail water revenues approved in the most recent rate filings, and shall not exceed 5% of such revenues for any 12-month period. In the current application, the company is seeking surcharge of 3.07%. The annual 12-month WICA adjustment is 3.98% and does not exceed the 5% annual statutory cap, and the 10% cumulative statutory cap in Connecticut Water case is 6.19%, so it's less than 10%. Therefore, Connecticut Water complies with the statutory requirements. The authority authorizes Connecticut Water Company to implement a cumulative WICA surcharge of 6.19 on customers' bills on a bills rendered basis effective April 1st, 2023. The surcharge adjustment is the result of Connecticut Water completing and submitting for review a total of 20 WICA eligible projects. The authority also approves 21 new projects projects numbers 487 through 507 as WIC eligible projects. With this short summary, I recommend this decision to the panel. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I move adoption, Madam Chairman.
Second, Madam Chair.
Thank you. The decision has been regularly moved and seconded. If there are no questions or comments, I would ask Mr. Bumpman to take the roll, please.
Chairman Gillette,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Pekoski,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Thank you. The decision has been adopted. We will turn next to docket, the second item on today's regular calendar, which is joint docket decision, docket number 210103 and docket number 200301 REO1, addressing annual review issues associated with the rate adjustment mechanisms of the Connecticut Light and Power Company. We'll turn to Attorney Victoria Church to present the decisions for the panel's consideration, please.
Good morning. In this supplemental decision issued pursuant to Judge Cohen's September 23rd, 2002 remand order in the Superior Court appeal of this underlying matter, the authority have further explained the determinations made in its September 15th, 2021 final decision issued in this docket regarding the calculations of carrying charge for certain rate adjustment mechanisms. Specifically, this supplemental decision addresses the history of the weighted average cost of capital for carrying charges and the transition to the use of the prime rate for certain rate adjustment mechanisms through prior related dockets, including the final decision issued in docket number 200101, the administrative proceedings to review the Connecticut Light and Power Company Standard Service and Suppliers of Last Resort 2020 procurement results and rates docket, with the final decision issued in December 2020, referred to as the rate adjustment decision. In the underlying proceedings in the instant docket, the authority addressed and confirmed the use of the prime rate for the NBFMCC, TAC, SBC, CTA, RDM, and ESI rate components in its interim decision, and again, it's in its final decision. In the rate adjustment decision mentioned previously, the authority did not specifically address the interest rate for carrying charges for the GSC and BFMCC rate components. And consequently, in the proceedings in our instant docket 210103, the company was not required to and did not use the prime rate for those two components in calculating carrying charges. However, in its final decision in this matter, the authority determined that in future RAM filings, the company was to apply the prime rate for GSC and BFMCC carrying charges to maintain consistency in the annual RAM filings. In this supplemental decision, the authority finds that calculating carrying charges using the prime rate for the entire 2020 RAM calendar year is the proper application of the rate adjustment decision and not impermissible retroactive rate making. This supplemental decision ultimately provides further explanation with respect to the calculation of carrying charges discussed in the final decision. It does not modify in any way the conclusions of the authority or the orders in the underlying final decision. Authority staff recommends adoption of this supplemental decision to the panel. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Attorney Church. Is there a motion?
I move adoption, Madam Chairman.
And second.
Thank you. The decisions have been regularly moved and seconded. If there are no questions or comments, I would ask Mr. Bumpman to please take the roll.
Chairman Gillette,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Pekoski,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 2 has been adopted. We'll turn to the third item on today's regular calendar, docket number 221005, the petition of Sonova Energy Corporation for declaratory ruling regarding ownership of capacity rights regarding Class 1 renewable energy sources participating in the Residential Renewable Energy Solutions Program. I will turn again to Attorney Church for a presentation of the declaratory ruling for the panel's consideration, please.
Thank you. In this declaratory ruling, the authority addresses Sonova Energy Corporation, or Sonova's, petition to the authority for a declaratory ruling that Connecticut General Statute 16-244Z B2 prohibits the assignment of capacity rights under tariff provisions of the Residential Renewable Energy Solutions, or the RRES program. In this ruling, the authority determines that the RRES tariff provisions requiring the assignment of capacity rights are not prohibited by Connecticut General Statute 16-244Z. The RRES program was established as a voluntary tariff program to replace the Residential Solar Investment Program, RCIP, and net metering programs that is administered by the Connecticut Green Bank and was developed at the behest of the General Assembly as a utility administered program. The RRES program is ratepayer funded, meaning that the RRES project owners are compensated with ratepayer money. Because of this, in developing the RRES tariffs, the authority struck a balance between fair compensation for project owners to encourage deployment, as specifically instructed by the general statutes, and the reasonable and judicious use of ratepayer funds consistent with past practices in the RCIP program and the Shared Clean Energy Facility programs. In its petition, Sonova asked the authority to declare that Connecticut General Statute 16244Z does not allow the electric distribution companies to require the petitioner to assign the capacity rights to the electric distribution companies in connection with tariff participation. As set forth in the declaratory ruling, the authority considered the positions of the parties, the language of the statutes, and the rules of statutory construction when reaching its conclusion. Ultimately, in this declaratory ruling, the authority declines to make the ruling requested by Sonova and determines that the RRES tariff provisions requiring the assignment of capacity rights are not prohibited by Connecticut General Statute 16244Z. The authority declines to issue the declaratory rulings requested by Sonova. Authority staff recommends adoption of the declaratory ruling to the panel. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Church. Is there a motion?
I move adoption.
And second.
Thank you. The decision's been regularly moved and seconded. If there are no questions or comments, I would ask Mr. Bumpin to please take the roll.
Chairman Gillette,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Bukowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Thank you. The decision has been adopted. That completes our regular calendar. We will turn next to our consent calendar. There are, let's see, 16 items on today's consent calendar. Is there a motion?
Madam Chairman, I move today's consent calendar, items 1 through 16.
I second it.
Thank you, gentlemen. The consent calendar has been regularly moved and seconded. Mr. Bumpin, please take the roll.
Chairman Gillette,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Bukowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Thank you. The consent calendar has been adopted in full. That brings us to the end of today's regular meeting agenda. We will adjourn. We will reconvene next Wednesday, March 29th, 2023 at 10 a.m. also by remote teleconference. Thank you and have a great rest of the day.